My computer's like gone.
Mm.
Yeah, shit sucks.
All right.
So I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I was ready to chew you up.
For
100%. I
what?
was ready to chew you up. So, we haven't talked in a while, right? So I went and I was looking on your Facebook page and I was like, what the fuck is he posting all these memes for? And I asked Dustin, I was like, is this motherfucker alt-right now? And he's like, yeah, bro, he's fucking radicalized.
Uh,
And it
like,
ain't even yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Now it's considered being radical. Fucking get the
Oh, it
hell
is.
out of here, dude.
It is.
Yeah, I know. It's actually a little pretty pathetic, dude.
yeah. Well,
So
yeah.
yeah,
It's kind of
it's
like what
dumb.
I.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I said on the last podcast we shot. Is if you don't, if your values do not align with quote unquote liberalism, like what we were just talking about, uh, yeah, like you're radical.
Yeah. Hey, Brandon, do you know what the definition of liberal is?
Of what?
Of liberal.
Of a liberal?
Yeah. No, I'm being serious. It's not a joke. I'm being serious.
uh, what? Okay.
Do you want to know? Do you want to
Not
know the
really.
Webs? You want to know the Oxford dictionaries or Webster's dictionaries definition of
Well,
liberal?
uh, oh, what's Webster's?
Webster's definition is willing to respect or accept behavior or opinions different from one's own, open to new ideas. Do you
Oh,
know
yeah.
any? Do you know any liberal who is that?
Um,
Not really.
not really. No,
Not at all, right? That's because they're not fucking
no.
liberal, bro. They're socialist,
100%.
and
Yeah,
that's and have you read Atlas Shrugged?
no.
Bro, you should read it. All right, let me give you the premise. Atlas Shrugged is a book basically about socialism. Ayn Rand wrote it, I don't know how many years ago, but a very long time ago. And it's about New York, and they have all these titans of industry, right? And
Mm,
somewhere in Cleveland, Ohio, I think it is, this company decides to stop paying people based on merit and start paying people based on need, right? So it gets tricky because how do you define the need, right? And then what happens is they start applying this ideology nationally. And pretty much, have you ever heard the like in the military or anything or police or anything, like the punishment or the beatings will continue until morale improves? Have you ever heard that?
yeah, yeah.
So basically that's what it is. So they're like, we need government funded opportunity, government funded competition. So they reduce all the competition to where you can't produce more than your competition. Like the dog, it's they call it the dog eat dog. And what happens is all these titans of industry start disappearing until there's only one left. And it's God, what is her name? Dagny Taggart from Taggart Transcontinental is the main character. And she's in it to the very end. And what happens is they just let this shit fall apart. Like the lights turn off and it's New York City and it's dead, right? The entire world is going to shit because what happened is the needy got needier and the people who were the workers, they called them the producers and the looters. The looter was anybody who wanted something for free, right? Which is
Hmm.
your socialist or your modern day liberal. And producers were the conservatives. They were producing. And what happened is they started bearing too much, right? The weight got too heavy. And you know who Atlas is, right? He holds up the world.
Yeah.
And one of the quotes in the book is like, what happens when it gets too heavy? Well, Atlas will shrug. My fucking problem. And that's what every single titan of industry did. They're like, nah, fuck it. And they went off and lived in this little secret society in Colorado and let the fucking world collapse.
Interesting.
And that, my friend, is where we're headed.
Oh, 100%. You know, like
Because
you go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like it's fun. It's funny, like listening to that and then thinking about how capitalism is always demonized, but
Yeah.
Hmm. But
the
we need
entire
it.
100%. I mean, if you think about it, like what is the economy built off of? Who
You know,
it's go ahead.
so capitalism doesn't exist at all. Capitalism is a phrase coined by a socialist in the 40s or 50s or whenever he coined it.
Huh.
Capitalism doesn't exist. We have free trade, free market trade,
Well,
what
yeah,
we do, right? But they had to call it something because they needed something to fight against, right? So they called it capitalist, and what they basically said is the rich are stealing from the poor class.
yeah,
That's how they had these socialist revolutions. Is they're like, oh, these people are capitalists. They're taking all the money and hoarding it and hoarding all the wealth. But like those people hoarding all the wealth, like they're talking about now, like your Elon Musk's and your Andy Frisellas and your people who make multi-million dollars, they're not hoarding it. Those guys employ hundreds and thousands of people.
yep,
So it's like it's just asinine for people to not understand. I mean, yes, we call it capitalism, but they don't understand really what it is. They just think it's corporate greed.
yeah,
And
yeah. And that's basically what I was trying to get at is that whole concept of like the construct of what has been created by fucking leftist like AOC and fucking the bullshit with Kamala Harris and like you got all these radical they call people that are conservatives radicals, but it's like you guys are so far into the fucking left field that where is it ever going to end? It's ridiculous.
well,
Yeah.
it's part of the playbook. Part of the playbook. What is the book? Something rules of radicals. The rules of
Mhm.
radicals, right? You call out and say, look at what you're doing. Look at what you're doing. So that way no one look at what you're doing, right? They're
Yeah,
saying that all these people from the center to the right, they're saying everyone from the center to the right is radical because they don't want to tax the rich, right? They want to live on ranches, they want to eat meat, they don't want to do freaking DEI and ESG initiatives. So it's like you're calling us all out and saying we're greedy and we're just we're after the bottom dollar, but like what are you doing? Like
yeah,
all these people who are pushing all these new agendas, they're in the stocks in those agendas, right? They're they're
hmm
they're
Hmm.
part of they're part of that agenda. And then
yeah,
like you brought up AOC, she's like tax the rich, right?
yeah,
But she's got a $5 shirt with tax the rich printed on it that she's selling for $85.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that doesn't make any fucking sense, bro. Like you're gonna make millions of dollars off of that because there's gonna be millions of people who buy that shit,
yeah,
and so you should be taxed, right?
yeah, yeah. In talking about free market trade and shit like that. uh Nancy Pelosi is like the biggest inside trader I have ever seen in my life. And
Oh, her
then
her
Insane.
stocks just went up.
yeah,
Did
yeah,
they?
and then
Yeah.
when she got asked about it back in like 2008. And the reporter, I can't remember his name, but he questioned her about it, and she really had like no definitive answer to really defend herself, and then tried to say that he was lying and that it was false. But he's like, well, how is it false? She had no argument whatsoever, and it's like, how is that not a conflict of interest?
It is, and more people are recognizing that than before, because there's a lot of people talking about that. Actually, an NFL player just tweeted out, and he said, "If I can't bet on a football game that I'm involved in, how are people like Nancy Pelosi allowed to invest in stocks that they make, policy on? That's
Yeah,
that doesn't seem right. Like
Um,
that, it's illogical."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
100%.
I just pulled up the New York Post article that her stocks increased a record of more than 100 options trading on Capitol Hill soared to a record of more than 160 million last year, up from 30 million in 2022.
That is ridiculous.
That's Nancy Pelosi's portfolio.
Chicks got like, and this is my thing. In order to prevent shit like that from happening, when is it going to come a point in time where these fucking people that are holding public office start getting audited? Like,
It won't. It won't.
Yeah.
Because who would audit them?
yeah, well, I
The-
mean,
I mean,
realistically, nobody. But it's like,
the Treasury. Well, United States Treasury, but I mean, that person would have to not be involved in any of that shit as well. So obviously, yeah, nobody.
well,
Well, the
it's funny.
DOJ it would be the DOJ who investigates them because if you
Sure.
remember
Yeah, there
correctly,
you go.
when fucking what's her name? Martha Stewart, America's grandma,
Oh, yeah.
when
Yeah,
she didn't even insider trade. She just happened to know what was going on and she didn't even invest in it. She told someone else to invest in it.
yeah.
And
She just
she
moved.
went to fucking prison. She went to federal prison because she told someone else to invest in a stock that she knew a little bit of too much about. And here,
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi's stock raises by 65 fucking percent in 2023, based 100% on policies that she's involved in. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the world we're living in right now, where it's two separate set of rules. I mean, look what they're doing to fucking Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He just got
Mhm.
two huge, huge settlements against him. One of them, and bless her heart, I think she's a great person. But our cousin Shawnee, man, she posted and she's like, oh my God, finally, maybe he'll shut his mouth and blah, blah, blah about that chick. Right.
Yeah.
But he got sued not for rape. He got sued for defamation for saying that she is not his type. He said she's not my type. And they ruled what, 80 something million dollars against him because he said he's not her type or she's not his type.
I think it was like 93.
Whatever it was
Yeah,
way too
a
fucking much.
ridiculous fucking number.
And now they just
for allegations.
no, it wasn't even allegations. No, he got sued for libel and slander because he said she's not my type. She herself on Twitter and in court during the proceedings said she did not touch her. It wasn't until after he tweeted and said she's not my type, that's when she sued him for libel and slander.
That is fucking wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, well,
he's a multi-billionaire who bangs supermodels. Yeah. He's a multi-billionaire who bangs supermodels. Yeah, she's not his type. No fucking shit.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
then the whole thing in Mar-a-Lago where he just got,
bro, that is the wildest shit I've ever seen in my life.
$300 million to who?
To who? Yeah.
To who? The banks went on and, gosh, I'm all over the place, and testified that nothing was wrong. Nothing was wrong. Absolutely nothing was wrong. And the judge still found against him. I don't even understand that. The people who the state is claiming that was defrauded, the banks, that's the people the state is saying that were defrauded. The banks. The banks said we were not defrauded and the loans were paid back. And then the judge found in whose favor? In his own favor.
Yeah. Because like nobody, where's the money going?
Right. No shit. Where's the money going? Where is that $300 million going?
Well, first, the thing is like when the part of that fucking lawsuit that like baffles me is this judge is evaluating Mar-a-Lago at $18 million.
Yeah. How is Mar-a-Lago valued at $18 million?
Dude, so okay. I was reading something earlier. There's a house half the size of Donald Trump's, and it's the most expensive house that they have appraised in Florida, and it's like $225 million. Mar-a-Lago is 64,000 square feet. This other house is 32,000. And you're gonna say that a judge with no real estate experience can go in and appraise that fucking house for $18 million? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, I just pulled it up right now. When it was built, I think this is it. I don't know. This might be a different Mar-a-Lago. I don't know if this is the same one. No. 1927, is that when it was done?
Mar-a-Lago,
When it was originally built?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Bro, it was
originally built in 1985.
Oh. Well, that's his estate, right? That's his own estate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, did he buy it? He bought it in 85.
I think it was previously owned.
Yeah, it was. All right. So it was built in 1927 for $7 million. $7 million.
Yeah.
In the 1920s. That's equivalent to $118 million in 2022. But it's only worth $18 million.
Yeah.
Where's the math on that?
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, where did this judge get his numbers from?
So you know what he just did, right?
Pulled him out of his ass.
Hold on. You know what he just did, right? He did the same fucking thing Trump did. He made an assessment and appraisal value on property. And then the state sued him for fraud, saying that he defrauded the bank by overvaluing his property. So what the state do? The state undervalued his property so they could sue him. So they did the exact same fucking thing that he did. They committed fraud in order to persecute him for fraud. That's what they did.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. And then like to whoever it was that was recording that fucking video, did you see that? After he made that judgment, there's a fucking somebody in the courtroom with a fucking camera pans over from Trump to the judge, and the judge is like smirking and like shrugs his shoulder.
I've seen that shit.
You fucking condescending douchebag of a chode.
Yeah, he looks like fucking like a burnt out Bernie Sanders. I don't know if you could do that, but
shit, dude.
Like, how do you look worse than fucking feel the burn? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's the clown world we're living in. Like, the rules don't apply the same to the liberal left, and honestly, all of it's going to get appealed, and it's going to go to the Supreme Court, and he's going to end up paying nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to get any money because that has to go, because that's obvious freaking targeting.
Yeah.
What they're doing.
Well, that's what it's been this whole time. It's been a wild witch hunt, goose chase, whatever you want to call it, to try to keep Trump from being able to run for president of the United States. And everything that they've done thus far has gone up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. I mean, look at what just happened in Fulton County, Georgia.
Fannie Willis,
dude, that is the greatest fucking like testimony I've ever heard from her and that fucking lawyer, dude. They both like, she wasn't even supposed to be there.
No,
she walked into the fucking courtroom to testify.
Yeah.
Why? Like, and then you just made yourself look worse because you started freaking out on the fucking stand.
Yeah, made herself look like an asshole.
Yeah,
it's because she is an asshole.
She is 100%.
They're all rotten pieces of shit, man, and they're starting to fall apart. And you know they're starting to fall apart because now they're fucking turning on each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you get that freaking prosecutor and all these fucking people in Georgia and the Fannie Willises and all these people, they're turning on each other. Like over the last year, several like, I don't, congressmen and Senate people, I don't know what, or maybe they're smaller local than that. There's, oh gosh, Andy Priscilla talked about him a couple of times on Real AF. I don't know if you listened to that podcast. But there was a guy who was like hoarding, he had like millions of dollars in gold bullion.
I heard something about that.
Yeah. And he was this Democratic freaking something. And he started popping off the mouth, and his party turned him in. And like it was his own party that were like prosecuting him, like setting him up and just knocking him down. But it's wild that it has to be their own taking them out. And I don't understand how, I mean, our Constitution is set up to remove these types of people from authority positions. Like our Constitution is set up for that. And they, they have these conferences and they have these Senate hearings and all this bullshit where all these fucking Republican senators get up there and they talk a big fucking talk, and they say all these big things and they whole bunch of gotcha moments, and then they walk out of the courtroom.
Yeah, and then nothing happens.
It's fucking wild, dude. Like this whole green initiative thing. I think it's the one smooth guy. I can't remember his name. Representative. He's one of the younger guys. Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway, he was questioning this dude about climate, about CO2 emissions. And he's like, oh, do you know it's parts per million this? He's like, do you know what the number is right now? And the guy that was pushing these initiatives, that was part of the environmental group, the EPA, had no fucking idea what the parts per million were. And then, but he did know a statistic that if it gets this high, then life dies. But the one senator was like, well, why do you go back just to this date? Why don't you go back further?
Yeah.
And,
why don't you go back to when dinosaurs roamed the earth?
And he's like, because there was no people there. And I was like, okay, but there was.
I know what you're talking about.
There was methane gas coming out.
I watched that shit.
Yeah.
Though.
And he sounded like a fucking moron.
Yeah, because he's like the CO2 levels were like 10,000 times higher than they are right now. And he's like, well, that doesn't matter because there wasn't people around. He's like, no shit. There wasn't people around to contribute to the rise of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, yet there was 10,000 times more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. What the fuck? Over. Yeah. He's like, well, there was a lot of geological stuff going on. That's your answer. That's your answer. That dude should have been fucking stripped of his job and arrested. And he should have been fired and thrown in fucking jail for 10 years. That's fucking defrauding the taxpayers of this country. Every single dollar that goes to an initiative that is backed by bullshit pseudoscience is fucking fraud, and we're footing the bill for it.
Yeah. Well, dude, there's even proof that when this shit really, like when the whole climate change thing really started kicking in, like when with Al Gore and all of his bullshit, with the global warming and everything, dude, there's proof that they were fucking manipulating the numbers that they were reporting just so that they could push that fucking agenda.
Bro, you know why they went from global warming to climate change?
Because everything that was coming back was turning up to be a bunch of bullshit.
Because they couldn't prove that the globe was warming. But if you call it climate change, it's just a play on words. Like, what sounds more terrifying? Global warming, when really, like, we had a really wet winter last year, and we had a really wet winter this year, and it's still fucking cold outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost March. You can't call that global warming. But if you say climate change and you say we're having all these hurricanes and unpredictable weather because of climate change, like that sounds scarier. Like fucking I'm old enough to remember, Dustin, you're probably in elementary school still when Al Gore was running around talking about the polar ice caps melting, and
I remember all that shit.
He's doing documentaries up at the fucking and Greenland and Iceland. He's like, all these glaciers are going to be gone in 20 years. And now they're like 10 times as big as they were when they made
Yeah.
that documentary.
Yeah, I remember that shit. I remember that whole fucking hoax. Like I remember mom and dad sitting in the fucking living room watching that dude fucking talk about that bullshit. He made that whole fucking documentary where he was on stage
Bro,
and was
they
parading around.
outlawed Aquanet because of that piece of shit.
Did they?
Yeah, bro, because it had CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons. They said that was putting a hole in the atmosphere. Anything was made with CFCs had to be taken off the shelf, and they had to reevaluate and redo the formula because CFCs were going to put a hole in the ozone layer. Do you not remember that,
Unbelievable. I don't remember that part. No.
bro? That's why we lost the rock and '80s hairstyles. It's because fucking Al Gore is a piece of shit. We lost the oh my gosh, we lost the Farrah Fawcett's of the world because Al Gore is a piece of shit.
Dude. Well, and like I just think that like this whole like this whole idea of we need to we need to lower our carbon emissions and we need to lower the greenhouse gases and all of this shit and and all this talk about like not wanting to frack in the U.S. even though we have found a lot of fucking oil in the country in the states, but then they
Hold
always
on,
bring up that
let me stop you. Who do they want to stop producing carbon? Who?
us people.
Us, yes, us. What country?
China.
No. They want America to stop producing carbon
Yeah,
dioxide, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Even
Sorry,
if
I
we
misheard
went
your
to
question.
even if we went to zero emissions, zero, it would only take away like 12 or 15% of the world
yeah.
carbon
Well,
emission.
dude, India,
Hmm.
China are like
They
the
don't give a
two.
fuck.
No, dude, they're fucking over there just pumping that shit out on a daily
Bro,
basis.
China is opening like 5 new coal plants a month for like the next 20 years.
Yeah,
Or maybe
Yeah.
it's one coal plant. Maybe it's one coal plant per month. But they are going hard.
Well,
And you
shit,
know,
they're already building. They're already on the verge of building. They're building more nuclear power plants than we are.
yeah, nuclear and
We're not
coal.
building shit.
And you know what? But you know who's pushing the EV, the electric shit?
Uh,
China.
yeah,
yeah,
China. You know why? Because
China.
when the grid goes down and they realize that shit's not sustainable, guess who's going to be ahead of the curve when we have to go back to the Stone Age?
Yeah,
China.
Fucking China.
China.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, they own. So here's the thing on the electric shit, right? First of all, did you watch that Joe Rogan podcast with the guy who went to the cobalt mines?
Oh, in Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fucking
Brandon,
how
have you
they're
watched that
getting
one?
that shit out of there.
Have you watched that one, Brandon?
No, I haven't.
You got to watch that one, then you'll understand.
Okay.
They like first of all, our country is very big on slavery, right? Like obviously we're pieces of shit because of slavery, right? There
Mhm.
is more slaves in slavery today than it ever existed
Then there
before.
ever existed. Yeah.
And most of them are in Africa in fucking cobalt mines,
Yep.
Yep.
digging up lithium and fucking cobalt by hand
Yeah.
with no PPE and fucking like t-shirts and shorts, no shoes, no gloves, no nothing. They're digging this shit out by hand, bro.
Yeah. It's fucking
To
terrible.
put to put cobalt and lithium in our fucking cell phones and in our electric vehicles, right?
Yeah.
Guess who owns like I think it's anywhere between 70 and 80% of those mines.
And Elon Musk.
China.
China. No, it's not Elon Musk. China.
China.
They own most of the cobalt mines. They own most of the lithium mines. They
Yep.
own the main substances of the electrical batteries. So we're pushing going green, right, with all this fucking renewable energy shit. But we're already behind. We're already 20 years behind.
Yeah.
And what we're coming to find out is that shit is not sustainable. So when all that shit fails, because California in the summers, you can't plug your car in during the summer. You can't plug your car in. So how is the entire grid, right? There's 330 million people in this country. If every single person had an electric vehicle, that's 300 million electric vehicles. We'll call it 150, right? Everyone has one. Every couple has one. All right, we'll say everyone's a couple. 330 million, in half, that's about 150, 165 million people, right? There's 165 electric vehicles plugged in or around the same time. California can't even do it with, they probably have less than 2 million cars there, right? So at one time, we'll call it 20% are plugged in. So anytime there's 200,000 cars plugged in and their fucking grids fluctuating and shutting down. You should imagine
have rolling
100
blackouts all the time.
bro.
Yeah.
There's a thing when they're talking about electric power, and there's a dude, he's a construction worker, he runs trucks, right? He's a lot for logging. And they're like, electric vehicles would be great, except the plant that we produce our trucks at uses X amount of power, right? To produce the truck. We would need a factory that's like 100 times bigger than that to run the power that we would need to run those trucks.
I'm familiar with that video.
He's talking about the dam. They're talking about a dam that produces like 20 megawatts of power.
Yeah.
But the consumption, if he used all electric vehicles, if he converted all his fleet into electric vehicles, he would need somewhere like 100 million watts to power his vehicles. And the dam nearby only produces 20,000 watts or 20
That's
million
fucking
watts.
Nuts.
So he would need 5 dams just to produce the power to charge his fleet. Just one person's fleet.
Yeah.
It just
That's
doesn't
insane.
the math don't math. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck no, it doesn't. And
It's
that's why
it's racist.
That's why it's, this whole idea of trying to push this agenda to have
No fossil fuels.
no fossil fuel cars by 2035. Like, that's not even fucking realistic, dude.
And what's sad is they don't have a plan for it.
No.
They don't have a plan.
They just want they want everybody to fucking fend for themselves at that point.
Well, dude, because
with X amount of electric cars.
Well, we know who's in bed with China, so
yeah.
It's not realistic. And then you talk about getting rid of fucking fossil fuels and shit. Okay, well then everybody needs to start fucking walking barefoot because your fucking shoes have carbon in them. The fucking
there's I follow like all the fucking accounts, all the super right accounts. There's a guy, right? He's yelling at these protesters. They're like, go green, get rid of plastics and fossil fuels. And he's like, you're an idiot. He's like, every head to toe, this chick, head to toe, glasses, clothes, water bottle. He's like, the marker that you wrote your sign, that has oil in it. The marker board has oil in it. It's like, you're an idiot. And Pierce, I think it was on Pierce Morgan where they were talking about this chick, and he's like, so where would you get your glasses from? And she's like, so confused. He's like, what about your lenses? So, both of those things are made from, they're byproducts of fossil fuels. He's like, your clothes, your earrings, your necklace, your shoes. He's like, what would you do? And she didn't know. And the reason she didn't know is because she didn't know that the shit that she was wearing was byproducts of fossil fuels.
Yeah.
Like when they think fossil fuels, they only think gasoline.
Yeah,
they
gasoline and oil.
That's it.
Yeah.
Motor oil and gasoline. They're like, I don't get it. Like everything is.
Yeah, literally. The house in which you lay your head.
The pillow that you sleep on every fucking night.
Yeah.
The cell
So that's
phone, the cell
that's
phone that the $1,000 cell phone that you're oppressed to use is made out of fossil fuels. What every time you post on Twitter about fossil fuels being the death of the world, it's like you're contributing on
yeah,
your $1,000 fucking iPhone. You're contributing.
yeah.
Congratulations.
And that you record your videos and stream live from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're killing the environment every time you do a TikTok, you whore.
Yeah. And then you get these stupid, dumb bullshit agendas pushed into
Legislation. Yeah.
the legislation, and you know the fuckers that got money in those organizations, they're fucking helping push that bullshit through.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking rhetoric, dude. It's all a bunch of bullshit that people don't even realize. Like you're falling into the trap of you embodying that legislation. You know, the Green New Deal, the Green New Deal. Well, can you afford a fucking $60,000 electric vehicle
Not only that, if the battery takes a shit, do you have $20,000 to replace
to
it?
To
replace it?
replace that shit.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I think
One,
it was something. I think it was like something like it's 30% more to maintain an electric vehicle than it is to maintain a nice vehicle.
dude, like if one of those Tesla coils takes a shit, you're fucked.
Yeah,
You're done.
you seen those things catch on fire?
Yeah, that's fucking
Yeah.
scary, dude.
They're freaking gnarly,
Yeah.
gnarly.
I wouldn't own one.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
no,
want
dude.
one. Fuck that shit.
Well, dude,
Yeah.
and like you
Give
said,
me a car that pushes good old petrol.
have you seen the F-150s in the winter?
The,
The electric F-150s in the winter?
the
Yeah.
lightnings, no,
Dude,
Oh,
they
dude,
don't move.
you
really?
can't start them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a
Dodged,
video. This
dodged
guy,
a fucking bullet on that one. I almost bought one. We were, we were
Don't
thinking
do
about
it.
buying one. Well, we ended up
Don't
buying a
do it.
350. We ended up buying a 350. So
yeah, no, dude,
I'm using that diesel.
there was a video. This guy had he was getting on the interstate and was stuck in the turn lane, and like you could hear him pushing the gas, and it sounded like it was on, but that thing was going nowhere.
It was like the little engine that could,
Yeah, yeah,
except it could not.
yeah. You know, I mean, if you want to invest in a hybrid, I mean, you know,
Hybrids
go.
make sense.
Yeah,
Hybrids make sense to me. It's like, dude, you get you get a 20-gallon tank and call it a 5,000-pound battery, right? You can go on that for a very long time. Those hybrids, those Tahoe was like the first one to be a hybrid, wasn't it?
it was either the F-150 or the Tahoe.
But they
One
were
of the
getting
two.
what, like 500 miles of range.
Mhm.
If it would switch on between battery and fuel.
Yeah,
I mean, what else do you need? You
yeah,
know, but you know what they need to do? They need to figure out how to put a generator on board that uses the centrifugal force of the tires to turn a
To charge
generator
the
to
battery.
charge the fucking battery.
Yeah.
that makes
That would
I
sense.
be
mean,
dope.
it'd probably make it significantly heavier, but I mean, I'd take a heavier vehicle to do that because you turn the freaking gas on and you're charging your battery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, dude, like
That's
with
just me though.
fucking with Teslas, yeah, those things are so fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Like those Tesla engines, so heavy. Like
Yeah.
it's
And
ridiculous. Like
and you get the one with the double battery in it, and it's twice as heavy.
yeah,
Hmm.
just to go a little further.
Yeah. And it's not even like a lot further because you don't even get twice the distance because the battery is twice as heavy. So you get like
Yeah,
25% more distance.
Yeah,
still get 300 miles
I was gonna say I think they only get like out of a full charge. I was
out of
gonna
a
say I
full
think it's
charge, 300
300
miles.
miles.
And
I think the
so
Rivian, they have a pickup Rivian. Actually, no, it's an SUV, a Rivian And if you get the
They
upgraded
have
one
pickups too.
with the 2 batteries,
Mm,
the Rivian SUV with 2 batteries, I think you get like 425. I think the guy said.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I have no interest
Yeah, dude.
whatsoever.
If I have a battery, bro, I better be able to drive from here to New York.
Yeah. And the batteries last a while too. I mean, the word on the street is they don't even last. The amount of time it takes to get a full charge out of one of those things, after you buy them, it takes over a day and a half or some shit like that. Like
No, that's not true. They have the charge. They have the quick charge. Some of those, like the charging stations, will give you
yeah,
a full charge in like a half an hour.
yeah,
But
that's
even
what it is.
still,
And they don't have enough. They
if
don't
you
even
have,
have
Well,
enough
yeah,
for the amount that are on the
yeah.
streets right now.
You see
So
the winter in the winter, all those people that are backed up waiting for fucking charging stations.
yeah, that's what I'm
It
oh,
saying. Like,
sucks.
dude.
It's
why would
fucking
you,
hilarious, but it sucks.
why would you want to go through that? And that's why, like, I
Because they're
look at
trying to
that
save
shit.
the world, bro. They're trying to save the
Yeah,
world. And
yeah.
that's what so going back to this whole thing, right? Like that's what they play. They play on your morality, right? They make you feel morally superior because you're doing your part. This is my thing, right? And this has been my thing for like the last couple of years. I've really been diving into it. Is it's we are tribal creatures by nature. Every single civilization has always been tribal, right? That's why we have borders. We have borders
Mhm.
because we're tribal. We are American people, right? So we want American people to be in America. Or if you come from another country, we want you to Americanize yourself. What's going
Mhm.
on is they're trying to turn us into collectivists, right? And what they do is they tell you little freaking Indian name, insert Indian name here is suffering in this country because you output too much carbon. It's like, first of all, dude, fuck that kid. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something. There's 8 billion people in the world. 8 billion, right? If you, I did the math on this one time, and I don't remember the exact amount of seconds, but if it took you 5 seconds to write everyone's name, right, and that accounts for all the fucked up consonant names, right, like your Russians and Middle Eastern names. 5 seconds to write everyone's name. It would take you 1,200 fucking years to write down everyone's name. So no, I don't give a fuck about whatever is going on overseas at all. 0 fucking %. You know what? You know why? Because by the time I get to their names, I'm fucking been dead. So it doesn't matter. None of it
Mhm.
fucking matters in the long run. All this bullshit, the DEI shit, it's just all trying to turn us into the collectivists. And they're stripping away individuality because individuality is like the key proponent for a successful civilization. You know, e pluribus unit means from one or from many one, right?
From
We
anyone,
are
yep.
a bottom up government. We were an experiment where the people of the country were supposed to rule, right? We have representatives. We don't
Yep.
have, whatever governors and the way that Europeans do, right? The governors govern in every other
Mhm.
country. It's a top down fucking patriarchy, whatever you want to call it. It's a top down. We have a bottom up, and we need to start
Yep.
exercising our bottom up, right? And how we do that is we focus on local shit. Whatever's going on in your immediate local area is how you affect the bigger picture.
Yep.
First, you start at home. Get your fucking house in order, right? Because if you're doing, it starts with the man. The man affects the home affects the community affects the city affects the state affects the nation affects the world. That's how you fucking fix it. And we're too busy worried about fucking parts per million of CO2 going in the atmosphere when China doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Here, here.
Yep. But I mean, the okay, and now you're talking about how, uh how everything starts with the man. Look what our country itself is doing. to the man. They're destroying him.
100%, bro. And they have been for the last 50 fucking years.
Yeah,
50 years, bro. Your test
I
levels.
mean, that's why Vietnam started, man. They needed to get rid of all the men so they could bring in the drugs. Is part of it.
What podcast have you been listening to? Because I want to.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You're fucking on point. No, you're on point. That's why civilizations. That's why people have war. You know why they have war? So they can control the population. What happens when you have war? You have casualty. Who are those fucking casualty? They're usually the baddest motherfuckers that are going to war, right?
Yep.
Leonidas and his 300 were the baddest motherfuckers. The Persians called them out, right? They knew what they were going to do. They called them out and were like, hey, we're going to take your 300 baddest motherfuckers out, right? They took a lot of Persians out with them too and ended up losing that fucking war because all the other Greek countries were like, hey, dude, if they stood up, we can all stand up. But they still lost a lot of fucking men. From World War I all the way out to the fucking 9/11 shit, we've been losing super fucking good men.
Yep.
It was something like, I believe it was something like 50% of the high achieving males in France were gone in the First World War.
Yeah.
50 fucking percent.
Yeah.
Which is why that country is so fucking socialist.
Yeah.
It is, dude.
No,
when you don't have anybody to say, hey man, that's fucking stupid. Let's be honest. Like, that's stupid. When you don't have people to say that, not even necessarily just men. Like, because women will stand up if their man will stand up, right? Women will stand up too. But if the man doesn't stand up, the woman's not going to stand up.
Yeah.
And now we have this
more.
We have this culture now. I don't know if you've been reading, but there's a counterculture going on where there is like, I want to say it's 10th to like freshman in college is the most conservative generation that has ever been.
Which
it's
generation?
Something like that. It's like 10th grade currently right now. It might be senior. It might be senior to like freshman in high school or freshman in college or sophomore in college. They are like they have more conservative values and leanings than any generation before them.
Currently?
Oh,
currently, right now, the males, not females, males.
That's surprising.
Yeah. Man.
Is it though? When you have these like super left, super fucking annoying bitchy women, like dudes who understand what's going on, men aren't going to college as high of a frequency as women are. They're not.
Yeah.
They're going into trades and they're going into like public service and shit like that. It's like 80% of women go to college, and of that 80% of them become super fucking liberal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they get into jobs, they go into majors for, fucking zodiac signs and fucking goofy ass electives like
physiological studies, psychological
that's
sociological studies and shit.
That's the college fault for fucking. What they're doing is they're taking advantage of kids. They're taking advantage of 18 to 22-year-old kids who are trying to fucking find themselves. So they're like, here's a course on Taylor Swift lyrics, and they're like, I fucking listen to that bitch every day in high school. And then they come out and they have no use. So what do they want? They want to loot, right? They want to be the looters. They want shit for free because of degree, and they feel like society fucked them because they can't apply their Taylor Swift fucking degree to anything.
Yeah.
So now it's everyone else's fault that you spent $100,000 on a fucking piece of paper that nobody gives a fuck about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the men aren't doing that. They're going into fucking trades, and it's great that they are because these trades are fucking dying. They're going into these trades and they're having more conservative values because they're like, man, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, you know, for some strange reason, these people weren't able to get to these kids, these young men, and they're coming out and they're like, yeah, that's pretty fucking stupid, you know?
That's good. I mean, like
Well,
I would have never pictured that, but like I
yeah,
mean
well, dude,
that's
it's because these women have these crazy fucking standards, right? So all these men who are coming out with conservative values, the reason they're coming out with conservative values is because the fucking liberal bitches won't fuck with them.
yeah.
Because you need to have, you need to make room in your heart for Fluffy, my transgender friend cat person. And they're like, I don't know what to do with that. That doesn't make sense
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
You know?
No, and like and that's that and then like having these fucking having just like you said, pointing back to what you said, those fucking super ridiculous fucking standards like, oh yeah, fucking 25-year-old man and they expect you to fucking be making, 150
Yeah.
grand a year.
It's the 6'6", right? Yeah, what, or is it the 3'6"? You gotta be 6 foot tall,
Yeah.
6 inches of dick, 6 figures, right? And it doesn't matter what
Yeah,
the female
yeah,
looks like. They all want
yeah.
those three things. You have to be 6 in all those three things. 6 foot, 6 inches of dick, and 6 figures, or they won't fuck with you.
Yeah.
Even the fat bitches. That doesn't even make sense.
Dude, yeah. And it's like, dude, like, and that's been like something, like I've watched a lot on like over like the last couple of years. But it's like, dude, like these fucking girls like having these fucking ridiculous like perspectives and like on themselves. Like
Oh, you're talking about that show, whatever, right?
well, like yeah, like I mean like
Yeah.
them, the fucking chicks on Fresh and Fit and shit like that. It's like they got these fucking ridiculous standards of themselves, and then like they feel like they're bringing something different to the fucking plate that all of those other fucking chicks aren't. And it's
And
like, dude, like
that's feminist fault. That is
100%.
100%. It's first wave feminist bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
Yeah.
first of all, women will never be equal to men, right? And men will never be equal to women. That's just what it is, right? And these women are so freaking confused, thinking that they don't have to bring anything to the table anymore. And
yeah,
you know who Pearl is?
yeah,
Pearl, yeah.
Yeah,
Pearl Davis.
yeah, Pearl Davis. She's funny, but she's got a lot of statistics. She's not that great looking, and
Yeah.
she knows it.
yeah,
But she's I don't know what her body count is, but I would assume that it's very low. Otherwise, she wouldn't be talking shit. But she's always
Mhm.
telling, she tells chicks, she's like, dude, every dude today is marrying down because of the way that they treat themselves. These women,
Mhm.
oh, it's cool to go out and get a high body count. Like that doesn't I don't understand that. Like I don't think dudes should do that either. There's that one I want to punch this guy in the mouth because I don't care for him. I don't know what his name is, but he's always going on there. He's real smooth talking, and he's like, I can fuck whoever I want, but I don't want a girl who's got a body count. And I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. Like that doesn't even make sense, dude. Like you're an
yeah,
idiot for saying that,
yeah.
first of all.
You wanna fucking you feel like you can rail every chick, but then you don't want a chick with a high body count.
Yeah,
That's contradictory.
it is.
Mhm.
It's very, but and that's one of his main arguments is like, I'm a man. That's just what we're built. We can do that thing. It's like, no, we're not. That's a decision you're making. But anyway, um, but it's the feminists who got in these women's head and were like, we need to be equal, and if they're not going to bring nothing to the table, all we need to bring to the table is our pussy. Like that's those girls that go on those shows, and most of them are OnlyFans chicks. That's all they have to offer.
Yeah,
And you wipe that 3 pounds of makeup off their face, and
yeah,
they are not good looking. They're
yeah,
not at all.
Yeah.
I can't stand a
Yep.
chick who wears that much weight makeup anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it just doesn't make sense to me, dude. And it's just, I don't know. I don't see how people can't see. It's weird how we've lost like common sense. Like, like they say, the new adage is common
Common
sense
sense
isn't that
ain't that
common.
common.
No, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
crazy to think that like we've gotten so far into places to think that like women think they could do these crazy freaking things. Men think they can do these crazy fucking things. The government thinks they can do these crazy fucking things. You know, we got DEI, we have electric vehicles, and no one's asking, how the fuck does this benefit anything that we're
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
You know, we're so busy fighting over fucking race and religion and all this stupid shit, gays, and it doesn't matter what we're fighting over. Everything that we're fighting over right now is petty nonsense, and it's all being pushed down from the top.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
While we're worried about the BLMs and Antifas and Alphabet Mafia and all this other bullshit.
no, we should be worried about them. Those
our
motherfuckers should
well,
get shot in the face.
which ones?
Antifa and BLM.
Oh yeah, well yeah. But while we're over here worried about all this fucking shit, uh, in our country,
Those people are probably a problem too, because those people are actually helping
they-
push the message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like culture wars, right?
Well,
like we're
yeah,
having culture wars right now.
That's where I was getting at. These culture wars and shit that we got going on in our country. Meanwhile, our government is doing whatever the fuck they want, sending all of our fucking our hard-earned tax dollars over to Ukraine, over to Israel, over to Iraq, and letting our borders be overrun with I mean, what's the terrorist count right now? I mean, how many have they caught over the past few months? Like the shit's fucking getting out of hand.
Too fucking many.
It's getting out of hand.
The problem with that culture war shit is we have a president that and press secretary
that isn't actually a president.
Well, yeah, they're all piggybacking off of the shit and amplifying it to create that fucking separation between people in the fucking United States, like big time.
Yep, and I mean, but these fucking assholes being able to do whatever the fuck they want, unless we the people stand up and doing something about it.
But that's the problem.
That's the problem. It is the problem.
Change.
Is like I said, dude. It starts at home. It starts with the man. Yeah. The man changes the home changes the community. The problem is everyone's looking for somebody. So everyone's looking for Daddy Trump to come and save them. That's what they're waiting on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, instead of going to your school board meetings, instead of going to your city council meetings, you know, finding out who your people are in your city that are being elected, instead of going out and challenging them, they're not. They're jumping on social media. You know, we're doing podcasts, but we're also part. You know, we're actually doing these things. Like I'm trying to get involved in my local politics. I think you guys should probably do the same. But people aren't doing anything. And that's the problem.
Hey, well, I just like to say I have a great governor. So, you know.
Yeah, hey, mine ain't too bad either.
I like what he's doing. It's 3 years too fucking late.
100% agree. I totally agree.
3 years too fucking late. This guy, instead of shipping illegal immigrants into the heart of our country, he should have been fucking putting mortars at the border. I'm serious, bro. Setting up freaking 50 cal machine guns at turret spots and fucking outposts and chopping people in half. I mean, they should have treated it like when Brandon. What was one of the first guys? He was in ROTC with you. He's one of the first guys that went to Iraq. Was it Jeremy?
Yeah.
Jeremy, right? It was Jeremy.
No, Jeffrey.
That's who it was. Jeffrey. He told me about the story where he fucking chopped that lady in half with that 50 cal. Dude, that is what we should be doing on our border. These people are not coming from Mexico. They're not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
These people are coming from every fucking other country. Yeah. And a majority of these people are coming from countries that we have on watch lists.
Yeah. And the majority of them are fucking middle-aged men.
Yeah, and they're bringing women and children across that they end up putting into fucking sex trafficking. So
yeah,
they're going to end up dying anyway. Just chop them down at the border.
Yeah, dude. No, like
you
agree.
can't. You're not going to be able to post this to YouTube because that's going to get flagged.
Oh yeah. Well, hopefully it'll go under the radar.
But no, bro, you take the National Guard, and you have all these other states now that are willing to send their National Guard down there. You put those motherfuckers shoulder to shoulder across the border, right?
Yep.
And like you give them some warning
Build
shots.
that fucking wall, fucking 50 feet fucking tall.
Well, in a lot of the problem that Abbott faced, and like in regardless, because he took the initiative to apply the fucking the Constitution to be able to just say fuck it and we're just gonna have our National Guard control this shit. He did wait too late, but he was getting so much shit from the fucking federal government because of the fact.
You know why he waited?
Why do you
he
think?
waited? Because he is up for re-election.
Well, I mean that's
good campaign to run on, right?
It is a smart tactic, but
yeah, but come on, bro. You know they've said they've had 12 million encounters. That means that 12 million people that they know of are in this country.
Mm-hmm.
The real number is somewhere between 20 and 25 million. Right?
Yeah.
And think, we still have what, 8 months till the election? So we're going to get another 4 or 5 million, right? So we'll be at 30 million. You know what they're doing with these encounters? They're taking their name and they're registering them as Democrats.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude.
So
like there's so many videos that are going out right now, and they're asking all of these fucking illegals who they plan on voting for, and they're all Joe Biden.
Yeah, and then what is that? Is it Nadler? Fucking penguin looking dude in Congress?
I don't
know. Which guy?
Is it Nadler or something? I need to start saving these fucking sound bites. But there's a guy, right? They're in New York. They were attempting to let illegal immigrants vote in local elections.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, hold up, that's fucking bullshit. Our Constitution says that you cannot do that.
Oh yeah,
and he
fucktard Gerald Nadler.
Yeah, Gerald Nadler.
Yeah, he goes like penguin.
Right?
He is.
Because I don't even listen to the name. It's like, that's a penguin looking motherfucker. But so he says, he's like, that's not what they're doing. And then he says they're just participating in local elections. And the guy's like, it's what I just said. And what happens when you let them participate in local elections? What's going to stop you from letting them participate in our presidential election, in our congressional elections, in our Senate elections, in our House elections? And he had nothing to say. He took his time away, actually.
Yeah.
He's like, moving on.
Yeah.
Like, hold up, dude. Dude. There's 2 million people here in this state that are voting in local elections that don't live here, that aren't registered here.
Yeah. And all this time, they always want to continue to try to point out that requiring voter ID or requiring ID
racist.
for voter registration is racist.
But you can't go buy a pack of cigarettes or a lighter at that without an identification card.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is when you go around and you ask black people about, do they think that that's racist? They all say no. Because
they all have ID.
You're capable of fucking going to the DMV to go register and get yourself a fucking driver's license.
And you know who the people the people who are saying that it's racist, it's usually white liberals.
White liberals.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Not just white liberals, it's white college liberals, because that's what they're being taught in school, is that black people are fucking retarded. Like, that's what you're saying. You're not saying that, oh, they have a socioeconomic disadvantage or they live in poorer neighborhoods. What you're saying is they're fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Like
they're less
they
than.
can't flip up open a computer and go DMV enter. There's one right there. I get license. Like, you're saying that they can't do that, or everyone's got one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like DMV. Oh, there's 2 within 5 miles of me. Shit.
Yeah.
How do I get there? I don't know how to get there now.
And dude, there's people that are fucking defending that argument. Like, God, I hate to say it, but like members of our family.
Yeah. Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that think that voter ID laws are racist.
Hold on. Who?
I don't want to out anybody.
No, you got to tell me. Text it to me.
Okay.
And then after you're done doing that, Dustin, Dustin or Corey, one of you guys, pull up I believe it's the DHS.gov.
What are we looking at? What are we looking at?
I know it's a very general rate.
The illegal immigrant statistics from the time that from the time Bill Clinton was in office till now.
Bro, you gotta like send the link, because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Unfortunately I can't because of my
your
my
restriction?
limited capabilities on this this here device.
Oh, well, you gotta learn how to work the message box, bud.
Oh, and here, that's right. We do got a message box, huh?
We
Do you
sure
have
do.
the link? Do you have the link?
I mean, it doesn't matter. Just tell us the numbers. Tell us the numbers.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I can't. I'm limited I'm limited on that too.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Bro,
From
this should just be our
2006 to
fucking podcast.
2021.
We're just get on here and start talking shit about everybody. Fuck 'em.
Yeah. Well, dude, like that's why I wanted to have like an open floor to just be able to talk about shit.
Yeah.
All right, what am I looking at? DHS.gov?
Look at you on that Yahoo. You upgrade
Yeah.
your shit, bro. Google Chrome.
I have Chrome. I don't know why it went to
Yeah, change that default, bud.
Hey, this is all new to me.
It's all right. We'll work it out.
Yes. Yes. Special reports.
Special reports.
DHS.gov special reports in there.
Nope.
Yeah,
Shit. Oh yeah, there it is.
Right there. Legal immigration and
there
justice.
you go. Legal
status
immigration.
report.
Boom.
This is legal though. This is legal.
Yeah.
Oh damn, wrong. Yeah, wrong one. Yeah,
Okay.
illegal.
Just type in illegal
immigration.
immigrants right there. Yeah. Illegal immigrants. Hit that shit.
Stopping illegal immigration.
Lying motherfuckers, you're not stopping anybody.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
we
not.
wanted the statistics though, but the statistics are fucking ridiculous.
Well, I'm sure it's
So
probably. Well, you see that they just we talked about this on the last episode, but they impeached that fucktard Mayorkas.
3 years too fucking late, bro. As soon as 2 million illegal immigrants cross the border, when they signed the executive order to stop the whatever Trump had instituted. The moment they did that, yeah, Title 42, they should have thrown every fucking body out.
Yep. Yep. And now what? As of 2021, this is what I can pull up with my limited access right now. 10.5 million unauthorized immigrants were represented in this country. Total about 3% of the total U.S. population and 22 of the foreign-born population. And
yeah, bro, that was 2021, and it was at 12 million or 10 million.
10 million.
2021. That was just in 2021.
Just in 2021.
Holy fuck, bud.
Yeah,
that doesn't seem right.
What is it? What was it? Say that again.
He said just in 2021 there was 10 million illegals that crossed the border. I think that's right.
I would buy that because they said, I believe it was 13 million last year.
Yeah, no, 2.5. No, but you're talking about aggregate. You're talking about aggregate.
That might be what I have here. I'm stuck on.
Or no,
I'm stuck.
So right now on migrationpolicy.org, it says 2.5 million encounters of migrants occurring at the U.S. border in 2023 represent a new historic high.
I don't know where I pulled that number out of my ass.
So 2.5. So, but you got to think 2.5 in 2023. So you had 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, he took over 21, right? Or when was the election year? The election year was 2020. And then he did his executive order. So you got 21, 22, 23. So 2.5 was the most last year. So between those three, you have 7.5 million people encounters. Actually, I don't know how that adds up because they have 12 million. The last number was 12 million in Joe Biden's term. So they're lying on this. This wasn't the historic high. One of them was higher because the number now is 12.5 million encounters since Joe Biden took office.
Mm-hmm.
But that's encounters. The real number that they believe is somewhere between 20 and 25 million. And then if you do, we'll call it roughly 2 million. Call it roughly 2 million a year. And we still have this year. So we're going to be at 14.5 potential actual encounters and somewhere between 25 and 30 actual. So somewhere between 25 and 30 million illegal immigrants are going to be registered and will be voting in the next presidential election. And if
hell no,
the way that these primaries are turning out, Trump is killing people. And I don't know if you saw the one in Nevada, how what's her touch lost to nobody. That was,
bro, that shit was great.
That was brilliant. Did you go vote in your primary, Brandon?
No, I missed it. I was
piece
working.
Of shit.
Yeah, I know. Well, thank God Lombardo won. So I'm okay for now.
No, bro, I'm talking about your primary, not your governor election. I'm talking about your primary for presidential election.
Oh,
it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. Well, Donald Trump wasn't on the ballot anyways.
I know, but you still could have voted for none of these candidates. It would have been awesome.
That is true.
He won the state because he actually won the caucus.
Yeah. Dude, you know what's funny is have you heard any of these updates with Colorado? And how
they're putting him back on the ballot.
Yeah, they have to.
Because the dude's argument made no fucking sense.
Yeah, he was accusing him of
idiots.
He was trying to use the insurrection clause.
Yeah.
They have people still in prison right now for the January 6th riots, and nobody's been charged with an insurrection. So how do you charge somebody who wasn't there, who didn't incite anything, who actually told everyone to go home? And again, no one's been charged of insurrection. So how are you charging him with insurrection and taking him off the ballot if no one else has been charged with an insurrection? Doesn't make sense.
Facts.
Yeah. He sounded
Yep.
like a fucking asshole trying to prove his point. I was like, bro, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, and your argument makes no sense. And those judges were really trying to give him the opportunity to prove a point, and he couldn't.
Well,
Yeah.
and what they're doing too is they're just think that people are going to go with it, right? They put that out there, and they got a shit storm of terrible feedback. They're like, I don't know what you're doing, but you're for real breaking the law. If they thought
Yeah.
they could write the law, and the
Yeah.
people in Maine or New Hampshire are trying to follow, it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
dude, you can't do that. There are fucking policies and procedures. And again, this is a bottom up government.
Yep.
Did you put it on a ballot that you wanted President Trump removed? Or you just went off your fucking own whim and were like, hey, we're going to take him off because we believe most of our people want him off?
Yeah.
And little did they find out.
But,
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, but if you got to go, we could wrap up. We could do it again.
for sure.
Like we're ending on a good note. Nice,
Hell yeah.
nice high.
Right on.
For
Hell
sure.
yeah. Well,
Yeah. Yeah. So it appears we're going to be doing some rebranding, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the graphics because Brandon, your graphics suck. I love you.
hey, dude, I was limited, bro. I had limited capabilities over here. Hey.
You're the art. You know what sucks too? You're the artist.
Well, hey, I had some shit worked up, but yeah.
That's all right, bro.
It's
I'll make it fire.
I mean,
I'll make it fire.
yeah.
on the next episode we will be relabeling as the Brochachos podcast.
The
Brochachos.
Brochachos.
All
right.
Hell yeah. All right.
We're gonna make some brochacho nachos.
That sounds delicious.
All right, dude.
All right.
All right.
Later.
Later.
Later.